Alright, the next chapter in a Vibes Cartel. Vice of the Jamaican Ghetto is the me I say. Yes, so here goes nothing is the me I say people. So it name Ghetto Youth Tribulation is the me I say. Then if me gone prison, I go take care of me young son. Babylon still a fight ghetto youth. But me know one day better must come. Can anyone recall 5 instances in Jamaica where the little man took the big man to court and the little man won? Setting precedents in Jamaica need more time to think. Yeah, man, go ahead. Take another 5 minutes. Go as far as back in our history as you want. Give up. If anyone finds 5 instances, please email that information to the address provided in this book. As Kartel is a seeker of knowledge, I have reflected and researched yet one distinct instance of a little man taking the system or a big company to court and winning comes to mind. This is ironic because though our justice system is modeled after that of the British, so much of our public policy is influenced by the US. To a large extent, the US society have evolved as a result of landmark cases involving the little man going up against a bigger power in court and winning, setting the precedents for the justice will be served in the future. Let me highlight a few. A case very close to the hearts of Jamaicans in the 1954 case as of Brown versus Board of Education, where a black woman in Kansas took the Board of Education to court with an initiative that ultimately led to desegregation in all schools in America. Linda Brown did this simply because she felt it was unfair for her children to be forced to travel a long distance just to go to a designated black school when there were great schools in a close proximity to her home that were segregated. Whites only. The Supreme Court agrees that the separate but equal claim by the racist or unconstitutional. The racist claim by the racist was unconstitutional. Then there was the Map versus Ohio case in 1961, where a single case of an illegal search led to reform in the way search warrants are issued today, allowing for some protection of one's home from unauthorized searches. M's map was found guilty of having pornographic material in a trunk in her home. Despite the fact that police searched her home without a warrant, she appealed and the Supreme Court agreed the search was unconstitutional. Miss Mapp was freed, and following her case, a new rule was established. All police searches require warrants. A case that is much appreciated by Vybz Kartel in the 1966 case of Miranda versus Arizona. The issue of a citizen's right to remain silent, to have a lawyer present when being questioned, was brought to the forefront because of an unfortunate experience endured by Ernesto Miranda, who was tricked into giving a confession without his lawyer present. Since Miranda won the case, the US now has Miranda rights, where the police are required to immediately advise an individual of their rights when making an arrest. This is important because Miranda did confess to a crime but was freed because the US court felt his human rights were more important than a conviction. Another case appreciated by Kartel is the case of Texas versus Johnson Gregory Johnson. As Americans decided to burn the American flag in process against President Ronald Reagan and big companies in America ruling in Johnson's favor, Judge William Brennan stated that The government may not prohibit the expression of an idea simply because society finds the idea offensive or disagreeable. Based on Kartel's experience, I find it utterly funny when a learned judge makes that declaration because in Jamaica it is the opposite. The government will prohibit any idea of expression it finds offensive or disagreeable because, well, because it can. We are government. If you are poor people and we tell you what to do, if you don't take it like it, we arrest you. It is that simple. The system not care if we live or die. One will find that in each case, it was just one individual who took the system. In the case of Map and Miranda, they were already found guilty, but by fighting for their rights, justice was served not only for them but for generations to come. Brown took on a powerful board, and now blacks can attend any school they choose. And because of Johnson, the government cannot simply ban everything they find offensive. I am not trying to paint a picture in the US as the center of legal rights are all things just. That would be unfair to choose who still feels they have been victim of miscarriages of justice. In fact, prior to DNA technology and the Innocence Project, maybe languish in jail without help. But now we see persons being freed due to better investigative methods, sometimes 30 years after their original conviction. The point is, throughout Jamaican history, it has been the reverse. Our landmark cases simply highlight that it has been more of the same justice from slavery up till now, correction from the end of physical slavery up till now, as we are still mentally enslaved. Consider Jamaican landmark cases. There was a man named Sam Sharp who, for the most part, was a peaceful man who set out to do a peaceful protest in December 1831, like the many efforts of people trying to voice their grievances through peaceful means. The protest become violent. Alright, so pause.